I'm going to demonstrate foreshortening with two different sets of legs. Right now, I'm going to fill in the body of a woman who's sitting in a chair. For the bottom part of her body, I'm going to pretend as though she has no legs. So I'm just going to sketch the bottom of her torso, and then I'm going to layer her legs on top. So she has two thighs, and I'm just going to make two circles for the thighs. And then I'm going to begin with the leg that is crossed on top of the other leg. I'm still going to be drawing with round circular shapes. Nothing is going to be straight. I'm simply looking at the shapes that I see. Whenever we're looking at a reference, we're just looking at the shapes that we see and breaking them down. This leg is layered on top of the thigh. The calf is a little bit larger, and then it comes down to the ankle that gets a little bit smaller. And a lot of people panic about the feet, but we're simply going to leave those in an ovular shape. We're going to keep it nice and simple. If you're actually looking at feet that are facing towards you, they're going to be a very simple oval shape. Now, we're going to start working on the leg that is underneath the other leg. And again, I'm simply putting in shapes. I'm drawing the shin and the calf just like I did with the other leg. The calf is going to be a little wider, and then we're going to come down to the ankle. That's going to get a little bit smaller. And then we're going to have an oval shape for the foot. You want to make sure that the lower half of the leg, from the knee to the foot on each leg, are approximately the same length. Now, I'm going to start filling in a little value to make everything a little bit more 3D. I'm reserving my very dark pencil strokes only for a select few areas where there's a crease or a fold or a hole. And then everything else is going to get some kind of shade of gray. So I'm going to be using my blending stump and smoothing out some of these lines so that she has color, but I also want to emphasize the shadow areas. Whenever you're shading, you always want to determine where your light source is. So in this particular picture, my light source is coming from the right side and casting a shadow onto the left as I'm looking at the figure. So everything on the side of the leg that is crossed over the other leg is going to have a little bit darker shadow there. And that should make it pop out a little bit more. And the rest will be just nitpicking. For my second character, I'm going to outline the entire body. This particular woman is going to be on the ground with her knees folded. And again, I'm going to make this round shape at the bottom of her torso as if she has no legs yet. And then I'm going to kind of block in two circles where her thighs are going to come out of her body. And because we're foreshortening, we're going to make her legs look a little bit short, and we're going to stop it at the knee because her knees are folded underneath her. So I'm just going to have the shape of an oval to begin with, and we can nitpick it a little later, but I just want to get these shapes in to make sure that I have the right proportions, that I didn't make them too long or too skinny or too wide. And then I can go back and add a little value so that everything pulls together and looks more 3D. So I'm going to darken her clothes, and then also create a little shadow on her legs. Again, I had to choose my light source, and my light source again is coming from the right side, or my right side, and casting a shadow on the left side. So everything on the left side has a bit of a shadow, and then underneath her there's an even darker shadow. And this is where I can start to nitpick the oval shape that I created for her legs. So you can see this little indentation where the knee begins. And so the shape changes very slightly from my ovals. Then I will nitpick a little bit, and then I'll leave it alone.